In the top stories, Prime Minister Harris calls for unity of purpose. Health Ministry pleased with free COVID testing turnout. Car overturns and catches on fire near Builders Paradise. The details on these stories and more after the break. Stay tuned.
Mosoka, 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 Mosoka.
Welcome to the beautiful islands of St. Kitts and Nevis. Today, we'll be spending time with the Wilberts. They're a happy family that love liming, and with plenty of food and drink to go around, life is good, but not for long. Sadly, the Wilberts never paid attention to what they ate or drank. And when asked to reduce those sugary drinks, they joked and said, "We will, but not today." Unfortunately, a year later, Mr. Wilbert had a stroke. And a few months after that, Mrs. Wilbert was diagnosed with diabetes. From hospital bills and the cost of drugs to time off work, this began to take its toll on the family. But it wasn't until they saw the effect it was having on their children that they finally decided to make a change. You see, the Wilberts realized their family was already sweet enough, and a healthy lifestyle was the best gift they could ever give them. What gift will you give your children?
Hello and welcome to the ZIZ Channel 5 newscast. I am Jasmine Thomas. Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis, the Honorable Dr. Timothy Harris, is calling on civil society to join with the government in rebuilding the local economy as it continues to emerge from the slowdown caused by the global health emergency. In his New Year's address, Prime Minister Harris said that the issue of slowing productivity growth, climate change, and the ever-changing global financial architecture must be considered, addressed, and calculated for, as these are among the top issues facing small island developing states, SIDS.
In 2022, we will increase our strategic and direct investment in our people, into infrastructure development and institutional strengthening, thereby propelling our country towards achievement of our development goals. In this endeavor, I solicit the full support of the private sector in order to deliver an even stronger economic growth scorecard for our people. We will need all of us working together as partners, and I am confident that we shall deliver more working together.
In his national address, Dr. Harris noted that planned investments in agriculture as well as the construction sector, particularly in the housing field, will help to promote growth the opening of the St. Kitts Nevis Anguilla National Bank branch and business center in Sadlers, as well as the pursuit of a multi-purpose shopping complex in Sandy Point, was also highlighted as significant developments.
We have a bright future, filled with new opportunities. We have always been a resilient and innovative people. It is that innovation and resilience we must continue to employ in the face of current challenges. These attributes are needed to find niches and opportunities for our continued advancement despite living with COVID-19.
Prime Minister Harris encouraged everyone to work together to build our own Garden of Eden, in which the benefits will redound to all citizens, nationals and residents. Nearly 200 persons have shown up for testing in the first 2 days of the Ministry of Health's Car Park COVID-19 testing program. According to a statement, owing to the increase in the number of new cases, the Ministry of Health is engaging in an expanded program of COVID-19 testing services to individuals who meet the criteria for COVID-19 illness. On Tuesday, 4th January, 100 persons were tested, and on Wednesday, 99 persons were tested. The Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Health, Dr. Dolores Stapleton Harris, said the ministry is happy with the response so far.
The Ministry of Health is pleased that it is facilitating robust testing throughout the entire country and is further satisfied with the response thus far as it endeavors to mitigate transmission and curb further outbreaks. This is certainly a reflection of the commitment of the Ministry of Health to promote the safety of citizens during the pandemic.
Venues for testing are Tuesday at the Bastia Health Center, Wednesday at the Pogson Medical Center in Sandy Point, and Thursday at Mary Child's Hospital in Molineux. Testing at all sites is done between 6:30 and 7:30 in the morning. Persons who have any of the following symptoms should get tested for COVID-19: fever or chills with no alternative illness that explains these symptoms, cough, sore throat, runny nose, shortness of breath, loss of taste or smell, and joint or muscle pain. The test is free and a referral or an appointment is not necessary. The driver and 3 passengers have walked away from serious injuries in an accident that occurred on Tuesday night at 11 in the evening that left an overturned car on fire. According to police, motorcar P7884 was traveling from the Frigate Bay Road and took a left at the ECCB roundabout, putting them onto Bird Rock Road. While turning the corner out of the roundabout, the driver lost control. The car flipped and crashed into the drain on the western side, just outside the entrance of Builders Paradise, and combusted. The occupants sustained minor injuries and were taken to the Joseph and France Hospital, where they were treated and discharged on the same night. And the police are investigating an accident on Wednesday morning involving an ambulance and another vehicle. Investigations are still underway, but ZIZ understands that the collision took place between an ambulance and a vehicle owned by the court. The incident occurred on the Frigate Bay Road round near the fire station. The front of the ambulance was severely damaged and 2 occupants were taken to the hospital by another ambulance. The circumstances of the accident are unclear and we'll have more details as they become available. After the break, persons in custody following illegal boat entry and cruise calls cancelled due to positive cases. Stay with us.
Hello?
Hey babe, did you sign up for Flow Internet?
Yeah, because it's the best deal. Big savings. Just by combining our mobile with Flow Internet, I save hundreds of dollars a month on our mobile, which practically pays for the internet at home. And I got double data. Best decision ever.
Double data and big mobile savings? What about me, babe?
I wouldn't leave you out. With Flow, you get up to 4 lines with all these benefits.
Switch to Flow Postpaid and sign up for internet for big mobile savings and double data as low as $80 per line. Visit discoverflow.co for details. Conditions apply.
Welcome to 2022, guys. Here are your hosts for Value Mart IGA Value Club New Year's specials from December 30th to January 12th.
That's right. Feliz Año Nuevo! Joanne, tell us these specials, right?
Well, Celeste pizzas are just $5.99 each. High C box drinks, 8-pack, $8.99. Essential everyday aseptic broths, $7.49. Campbell soup, $6.99. Essential everyday freezer bags, $8.99. Nestle Splash flavored water, 6-pack, $5.99. And now our very low weekly
Value deals! Essential everyday canned vegetables, just $2.99. Final touch fabric softener, $9.99. IGA or essential everyday pasta sauces, $7.99. Equaline mouthwash, $9.49. Ensure, $6.99. IGA essential everyday salad dressing, $6.99. Shop smart, shop Value Mart. Joan, in español.
Como siempre, sea listo y haga sus compras aquí a
Value Mart!
Experienced drivers, you've ruled the road. Now you can enjoy the rewards with Beacon's 50+ car insurance plan. Get hassle-free sign-up, affordable fixed rates, and free windscreen cover. Call Kane Agencies Limited at 465-3333 for a quote, or log on to beacon.co.tt and get driving with Beacon today.
Welcome back. The police are investigating an incident in which several persons entered the Federation via Nevis illegally on the 2nd of January 2022 on a vessel that ran aground at Bath Village. Later that same day, 17 nationals of Haiti comprising 11 males, 4 females and 2 juveniles were taken into police custody and are in quarantine. The vessel, which does not bear a name, was also seized. Following an operation conducted at a home in Nelson Spring on January 3, an additional 7 persons, 2 nationals of St. Kitts and Nevis and 5 nationals of Haiti, 2 of whom currently reside in the Federation, were also taken into custody and placed in quarantine. Investigations so far have revealed that the captain and mate of the vessel are still at large. Individuals with information about this incident or the whereabouts of the additional persons of interest are asked to contact the Charlestown Police Station by dialing 469-5391, the nearest police station, or the crime hotline at 707. The St. Kitts Tourism Authority has announced that the remainder of the week may see some changes to the cruise ships that were scheduled to arrive. ZIZ understands that due to the number of positive cases on board the vessels, some stops have had to be cancelled. For example, on Wednesday, Anthem of the Seas and Carnival Freedom was cancelled due to the number of positive cases. Meanwhile, Viking Sea berthed at the Deepwater Harbor. A tourism official said similar cancellations may occur later in the week, dependent on advice of the health authorities. On Thursday, 6th January, Aida Diva and Enchanted Princess and Star Flyer are scheduled to dock at Port Sante and Seabourn Odyssey at South Friars Bay. On Saturday, 8th January, MSC Seaview, Norwegian Epic, Seabourn Quest and Rivera are scheduled to dock at Port Sante. In recognition of his work from keeping his citizens and residents safe during the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic to his efforts of ensuring the Federation's economy remains resilient, Prime Minister the Honorable Dr. Timothy Harris has been named the St. Kitts and Nevis Observer's 2021 Person of the Year. It is the second time since becoming Prime Minister that Dr. Harris was named Person of the Year by the St. Kitts and Nevis Observer, a reputable media outlet. Prime Minister Harris' selection for this recognition was made by a group comprising civil servants, past and present parliamentarians, private entrepreneurs, and ordinary individuals. In choosing the Honorable Prime Minister, the group cited his skillful handling of the economy since becoming Prime Minister in 2015, but especially during the perilous past 19 months of the COVID-19 pandemic. Dr. Harris was described in the St. Kitts and Nevis Observer as the perfect leader for these perilous times, mainly due to his care and concern for every resident of this Twin Island Federation. His efforts in convincing his colleagues to lessen the tax burden on citizens and also delivering a double salary for civil servants when they needed it the most, as cushions to their families that experience layoffs or reduced work hours. In its article, the newspaper shed light on the Prime Minister's role in the handling of the COVID-19 pandemic in his country and his advocacy for the equitable distribution of vaccines, particularly to small, vulnerable states. Coming up in the regional news, dead couple discovered in their home in Guyana. The details when we come back.
Welcome to 2022, guys. Here are your hosts for Value Mart IGA Value Club New Year's specials from December 30th to January 12th.
That's right. Feliz Año Nuevo! Joanne, tell us these specials, man.
Well, Celeste pizzas are just $5.99 each. High-C box drinks, 8-pack, $8.99. Essential everyday aseptic broths, $7.49. Campbell soup, $6.99. Essential everyday freezer bags, $8.99. Nestle Splash flavored water, 6-pack, $5.99. And now our very low weekly
value deals. Essential everyday canned vegetables, just $2.99. Final touch fabric softener, $9.99. IGA or essential everyday pasta sauces, $7.99. Equaline mouthwash, $9.49. Ensure, $6.99. IGA essential everyday salad dressing, $6.99. Shop smart, shop Value Mart. Joan, en español.
Como siempre, sea listo y haga sus compras aquí a
Value Mart.
There is no better time to discover what your National Bank Visa debit or black cards can do.
Mimi, what's that song?
It can get you out of a pickle. Using my National Bank Visa card is fast, secure, and convenient.
Cashless SKN is our new lifestyle choice. National Bank, always here.
Welcome to the ICC Under-19 Cricket World Cup.
Will you be there? It's the street when we coming down. The chillin' spills excitement everywhere.
Full pressure.
Will you be there to see our stars shine? Will you be there with the biggest fans alive? Will you be there? 4th and 6th, yeah, do not miss it, no.
The ICC Under-19 Men's Cricket World Cup. Be there January 14th to February 5th.
And now for a look at news on the regional scene. In Guyana, an East Bank Demerara village was plunged into shock after discovering the bodies of a couple Here is more by Tamika Rodney.
A murder-suicide investigation has been launched following the discovery of the bodies of a Sierra Johanna East Bank Demerara couple in their home early Tuesday morning. Even though it is unclear at what time the deaths occurred, Nightly News understands that when crime scene ranks examined the bodies, rigor mortis had already set in. Police Commander of Region 4B, Mahindra C. Narayan, confirmed that the dead couple has been identified as Nicholas and Sasha Loachi. Police confirmed that even though they are treating the investigation as a murder-suicide, they will have to await the report of the autopsies to determine the actual cause of the deaths. Neighbors who summoned police to the home of the couple earlier Tuesday morning related that it appears as though the woman was shot to her chest while the husband was shot to his side. There were no signs of break and enter. Tamika Rodney reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
And hotel workers represented by the Antigua and Barbuda Workers Union are now enjoying a weekly $16 increase in remuneration. ABS's Jessica Russell reports.
All hotels that are basically part of the Antigua and Barbuda Hotels and Tourists Association will basically see this $16 increase across the board.
Some hotel workers are now enjoying a pay increase. This covers those who work at resorts that fall under the collective bargaining agreements between the union and the Hotels and Tourism Association. Royalton employees who are governed by a different arrangement will still benefit. The increase, which took effect at the start of this year, was to take effect last year but was delayed because of the COVID-19 pandemic.
This increase would have been the final increase in the final 3-year agreement, because normally collective agreements with us run for 3 years.
The union's general secretary says the increase is a timely one as the workers suffer the harsh economic impact of the pandemic. He says plans for another arrangement are ongoing.
The discussions for the collective agreement going forward for the 2022 to 2024 period is very significant in that we have to take into consideration the rise in prices and goods and services across the whole spectrum.
Jessica Russell, ABS News.
And coming up, America sets new daily COVID-19 record with more than 1 million new cases. International news is next. Stay tuned.
You're never too young to start planning for your financial future. That's why I decided to visit National Caribbean Insurance to speak with one of their friendly sales agents.
Here at NCI, we strive to ensure customer satisfaction by choosing the right policy for you. Our endowment plans provides customers with adequate returns on their investments. The quinquennial bonus policy offers a 25% payout of the sum assured every 5 years. Other life insurance packages can help to secure your family's future. Also, please consider our health plans so you can be reimbursed for medical expenses to ease financial impact. Just remember, the younger you are, the more affordable insurance is for you.
Don't wait until it's too late to apply. Make an appointment to see a sales agent.
Visit us today. We serve, we protect, we satisfy. That's NCI.
It's time to do better. Beacon's Be Better Group Health Plan now offers new and improved options that make health insurance affordable for small to medium businesses. Good medical cover gives you a competitive edge and takes care of the people that take care of your business. Get a better plan to build a better business. Call us at 465-3333 or log on to beacon.co.tt for more info today.
United States has reported more than 1 million new COVID-19 cases in a single day, setting a grim new global record, according to data from Johns Hopkins University.
With the latest COVID variant soaring to record highs, President Joe Biden began with a warning.
And I'll give it to you straight, as I promised you I always would. We're going to see, as you all have been hearing, continued rise in cases.
Then, in his address to the nation, he offered reassurance.
If you're vaccinated and boosted, you are highly protected. You know, be concerned about Omicron, but don't be alarmed.
The Omicron variant is surging, setting a single-day record with more than 1 million new infections, overrunning test centers, leaving many more wondering if they too are contagious. Though less lethal than previous variants, Omicron is more infectious, threatening to overrun hospitals and threatening even children who are largely unvaccinated.
COVID, in a very short period of time, has become one of the leading medical causes of death for children in this country. So I think it's about time that we stopped downplaying the significance of COVID for children.
The explosive contagion hit hardest in the U.S. as families gathered for the Christmas holiday season, canceling understaffed flights and setting off a wave of vaccine and remasking mandates. Across the U.S., where positive COVID tests have surged from 5% to 20% since November, many schools returned from the winter break online only. But here in Washington and in New York, where positive tests have grown from 3% to 33%, schools are open for business. New York's mayor insists that school is the safest place for children.
If you look last year until 2020, you witness that the transmission rate was less than 1% inside a school. In the household, it was over 15%.
Back in Washington, President Biden ended with a plea for the 35 million eligible Americans who remain unvaccinated.
Please take advantage of what's available. Please.
In a nation where one's view of vaccination can depend on one's political affiliation, it seems certain that that's a plea that, at least for some, will fall on deaf ears. John Hendren, Al Jazeera, Washington.
And Argentina is experiencing a surge in new coronavirus infections. More than 44,000 cases were reported on Tuesday. The government has confirmed the Omicron variant is responsible for the rise in infections. President Alberto Fernandez will now reimpose more restrictions. At least for now, the number of people in hospital with COVID-19 remains low, and the death rate has not increased in the past month. We get more in this report.
Long lines of people waiting for a COVID test in Buenos Aires. They have been waiting for hours as authorities struggle to cope with a rise in COVID-19 infections. Alfredo Zárate said he had a moral obligation to get tested after coming in close contact with a relative infected with COVID-19.
I went to a party and I've had 3 vaccine shots. My niece told me last night she has COVID, so here I am. I'm working in an office and I have to be responsible.
The government has confirmed the Omicron variant is responsible for the rise in infections. Erika Hernandez says the positivity is alarmingly high.
In total, we are testing around 300 people. Of every 150 tests we do, 50 are positive. It's a rapid test, but we are seeing the increase. The city's government started setting up these testing sites in many parts of Buenos Aires last week because of the increase in cases.
President Alberto Fernandez has discarded reimposing restrictions, at least for now. The number of people in the hospitals due to COVID-19 remains low, and the death rate has not varied in the past month. And that's why the government is focusing on the progress of the vaccination campaign that began 1 year ago.
Many South American countries are winning the vaccination race. 63% of the region's population is vaccinated, and that figure continues to increase. But Annalise, Omicron still poses a serious threat to the health system.
In a country like Argentina, where the health system is fragile, and you see problems even in the United States, you see hospitalizations are increasing, Doctors and nurses are getting sick, so the problem is double. I am looking at the charts from Brazil, from Peru, even from Chile. They had a peak 3 weeks ago, and then it went down. All I can say is that everyone is vulnerable to this.
And that's why leaders in the region are pushing for more booster shots and preparing for some difficult days ahead as the Omicron variant continues to spread. Teresa Bo, Al Jazeera, Buenos Aires.
Up next in sports, SKNFA features striker Keith Roy Freeman, and Djokovic confirms participation in Australia Open. Stay tuned.
You're never too young to start planning for your financial future. That's why I decided to visit National Caribbean Insurance to speak with one of their friendly sales agents.
Here at NCI, we strive to ensure customer satisfaction by choosing the right policy for you. Our endowment plans provides customers with adequate returns on their investments. The quinquennial bonus policy offers a 25% payout of the sum assured every 5 years. Other life insurance packages can help to secure your family's future. Also, please consider our health plans so you can be reimbursed for medical expenses to ease financial impact. Just remember, the younger you are, the more affordable insurance is for you.
Don't wait until it's too late to apply. Make an appointment to see a sales agent.
Visit us today. We serve, we protect, we satisfy. That's NCI.
Will you be there, when we come to play? Will you be there?
Welcome to the ICC Under-19 Cricket World Cup.
Will you be there? It's the street when we coming down. The chillin' spills excitement everywhere.
Put pressure.
Will you be there to see our stars shine? Will you be there with the biggest fight alive? Will you be there? 4th and 6th, yeah, do not miss it, no.
The ICC Under-19 Men's Cricket World Cup. Be there January 14th to February 5th.
Beginning our sports segment, we feature Keith Roy Freeman, striker with the St. Paul's United Football Club, and for the Sugar Boys media consultant Andrew Huey has the details of this star rise.
Keith Roy Freeman plays as a striker for the St. Paul's United Football Club and the St. Kitts and Nevis national team. He's essentially one of the most prolific strikers currently in the St. Kitts and Nevis setup, having a monster of a season in the 2020 SKNFA Premier League, winning the Golden Boot, the MVP of the Super 6 tournament, and the player with the highest number of goals in the playoffs. All this while winning the Premier League title with St. Paul's that season. Freeman debuted internationally with the under-20 team against the Dominican Republic on the 26th of July 2012 in the qualifying rounds of the 2013 CONCACAF Under-20 Championships held in Mexico. On the 21st of February 2016, he made his senior debut in a friendly match against Bermuda in a 3-0 victory. Freeman scored his first 2 goals for St. Kitts and Nevis on the 27th of March 2021 against the Bahamas in a 4-0 victory in the FIFA World Cup qualifiers. He also scored 2 goals in a 3-0 drubbing of Guyana in the World Cup qualifiers at the Warner Park in May of this year. In just 8 appearances for the senior team, Freeman has scored 4 times, a remarkable record for a striker. We pay homage to an excellent player, St. Kitts and Nevis' very own Keith Roy Freeman.
And Novak Djokovic has ended speculation over his Australian Open title defense by announcing that he will compete at this season's opening Grand Slam event after receiving a medical exemption from getting vaccinated against COVID-19. Al Jazeera's Sarah Clark reports from Queensland.
He's the world #1 tennis player and has won 9 of his 20 major titles at the Australian Open. This year he gets to defend his title after announcing on Instagram that he was exempt from the country's vaccination rules and was granted permission to travel to Melbourne.
Obviously the announcement by Novak that he has been granted a medical exemption, and that exemption affords him the opportunity to come into Australia, come into Victoria and compete at the Australian Open. So he's currently on a flight on his way here and gets here sometime today.
The decision has triggered widespread anger in a country that's had to deal with some of the toughest COVID restrictions on travel, both interstate and overseas. And from those in a city that have endured the world's longest cumulative lockdown to contain the pandemic.
I think it's disgusting. I don't know how you can get a medical exemption when you play that, when you're that fit and you play and you're number one in the world.
I think it's a disgrace. We've all done the right thing. We've all gone out and got our jabs and our boosters, and we have someone that's come from overseas and all of a sudden he's been exempt and can play, and I think it's an absolute disgrace, and I won't be watching it.
All players and tournament staff must be vaccinated to have an exemption to take part in the Australian Open that starts on January 17. Last year, the world #1 tennis player said he was personally opposed and wouldn't want to be forced by someone to take a vaccine in order to travel. The Australian Open CEO and the government in the state of Victoria have denied Djokovic got special treatment, but say it's up to the tennis player to reveal his medical condition.
It's very clear on what conditions you would receive an exemption on. And to briefly, quickly summarise those, one of them is obviously having an adverse response to any kind of vaccine and having something like an anaphylactic response. Another one is if you've just had major surgery and may or may not be suffering from myocarditis. And another one is you're a recovered case.
The Prime Minister was quick to deflect any criticism.
The Victorian government have made their decision on that, and so I'd have to refer to the Victorian government about their reasons for doing so.
Omicron has now reached every state in Australia. More than 90% of people aged over 16 have had 2 doses of the vaccine. Even so, the number of daily infections in most states is reaching record levels. Some testing centres have been forced to close to deal with the backlog. The National Cabinet, led by the Prime Minister, has now agreed to provide concessional access to rapid antigen tests in a bid to ease pressure on a health system struggling to cope. Sarah Clark, Al Jazeera, Queensland, Australia.
When we come back, we'll have another look at the stories that made the headlines.
The Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis, Dr. the Honourable Timothy Harris, wants to alert the public about fake Facebook and social media accounts that are circulating. These sites may look genuine, but they're not. These fake sites may use the Prime Minister's photo and name, but their only intention is to spread misinformation through false and scandalous information. Some of these pages are scams and will attempt to dupe you out of money. Do not trust them. You can find the real Prime Minister Harris on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram by searching for his official handle, which is @PM.